morning. I don't know what week this is, but we've got everything starting to pop up. Tomatoes, peppers are doing good. Corn is doing okay. And sunflowers are doing okay. Compost, I gotta work on that. And way out there is the squash, wild squash patch. And I've got some stuff finally coming up out there. We had some rain coming. So a little bit of everything, but not everything. We'll give it some time. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. This is my Kentucky, just throw seeds in the clay, in the grass, and see what grows out here. Never grew anything in red compacted clay before, so this is brand new to me, and I'm learning what grows out here and what doesn't grow out here. And hopefully next year I'll be able to create a really good garden. But this year's more the experiment. If anyone is just wondering how easy it is to grow food, to just put seeds in the ground and grow it, this channel is probably something you're going to want to watch, because this is pretty much it. Just going to add some water today. It's been over a week since I added water to anything on this main food. I just don't want to give up, but I do want some food. Out there in that backfield, I haven't watered that at all. I did the one video where I tested the water container on my four-wheeler, but I'm gonna come over here and start giving the corn some water. Nice. So in here, I've got corn growing. You could barely see it. It's sure not growing like the other corn out here. But these aren't no GMO seeds. These aren't no fertilize, no special chemicals. This is just plain old corn seeds saved for many years. That's just looks like the rest of the grass, but that's what the corn is looking like. And I planted them about 1 foot apart from each other and about 1.5 feet apart from each other. I should come back and plant more, but like I said, this is the experiment. I got a row here, row there, row there, row there, and a row there. So 5 rows, about 1.5 feet apart from each other. And then over here, sweet corn. These are planted a lot closer to each other. This is more like the Square Foot Gardener recommendation, if you guys ever read that book. These are a lot closer. These are my, I don't remember which one this is. Oh, yeah, have to get back in there and see. And here's another little box of corn. You can see them growing right here. They're pretty close to each other. They're all about a hand from each other. I remember they're all sweet corns. I know these were peaches and cream. I just remember that one for some reason. It's just a funny name. I don't know why it's funny, but it just is. And those two patches are probably about 2 feet by 2 feet. 2 feet by 2 feet. This, don't know. I don't know how big this one is. So that's corn. Just see if it grows wild in the grass. So I'm trying not to get in there and trim it down. I'm just cutting around it just to keep track of it. Keep the ticks at bay. And then we'll come back over here to the sunflowers. I should take a ride out there. I cut the grass around all the squash. So I just kind of made a walkthrough and trimmed it down. We'll check on that. These are sunflowers. And it took quite a while for them to come up, but I replanted where nothing was coming up, and it looks like just about every spot except for here. There's, for some reason, second time, well, there's one real tiny one right there. I don't know if there's gonna be one coming up over here, but for some reason, something's in this spot that they don't really want to grow too good. Can't tell, but it doesn't look like one wants to come up here either. So I have to figure out what is in the ground right there that makes these sunflowers not so happy. But these guys doing really good. Walking over here, this row of peppers, these are the rows that I'm experimenting with. This row I rototilled, and I got peppers in here. Peppers are taking forever to grow, but tomatoes are doing much better. But this row I rototilled, and I took all the grass out. I took all the roots out, well, as much as I could. And I even sifted this through a 1/4-inch mesh, and then put this dirt back in there. And you can see just by cleaning up that dirt, that row looks pretty good. This row right here, this is one that I rototilled, and I took as much grass and weeds and roots out of there, and I used just a garden rake to rake out, and you can still see grass is going to grow. This row right here is doing okay. These are the peppers. And this row, you can see that I rototilled, but I just took the large clumps of grass and roots out of there by hand. And then this is the first row I experimented with. And this one is, I rototilled, and I didn't clean anything. I just rototilled and planted. And you can see, rototill and plant, seeds are gonna grow. Rototill, do a little bit cleaning, looks nicer. That's about it right now. But doing pretty good. This one I rototilled and cleaned with a rake as best I could. And this is the one I ran through a sifter. So I rototilled the dirt and sifted it and put it all back in. So we'll get up in these and take a closer look. First row of tomatoes, I'm going to show you what is growing here and the progress on what they're doing. It's just going to be a row of tomatoes here. So I'll flip the camera around and show you what we got. So we got some heirloom. Don't know what it is. It's just a mix of heirloom seeds. I lost track of it and just threw them in an envelope. So that one's going pretty good. I'm going to have to thin it out. Pick the best one. So eventually I left this one alone. I didn't dig it up, but we got one Roma starting to come up. I don't know what a Cal Ace VF is, but I've had them sitting around. And you can see that one's doing pretty good. All right, here we got another, I can't even read what the writing is on that one anymore. Sharpie, not doing so good. I can't make it out. We got two coming up out of there. A Floridade. Oh, they're going. And usually if I started these inside in pots, they would be a lot bigger by now. Here's some large red cherries. So we have some golden jubilees. We got a couple coming up. Got 4 of them. Gonna have to pick one. Look at this grass. This grass is crazy. But that's the experiment. This one, I don't know. Are we losing this one? What do we got here? The Atkinson. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably pull that grass away. Maybe. I don't know. I'll leave it. Maybe it's just not a good seed for here. This one's not growing so fast either. Got a couple of little short ones here. A 2021. I have no idea what it is. It's just seeds that I've been saving from 2021. And what do we got here? I can't read it. Delicious. All right. And some Rutgers. So that's the row of Rototill. And just throw some seeds in the ground. And the varieties that I got for this experiment. Look at this. Is that a tomato plant? Something came here and ripped a tomato plant out of the ground. I can't tell what that is. It almost looks like a little tomato plant. Where the heck did that come from? Interesting. It was just laying there. So this is the row of peppers that I planted. Look at this. I got something in here digging. Some little holes. Is that the frog? I know I got a frog that's living in here somewhere. He starts hopping around when I start watering. But we got our peppers. One little one there. This one is not doing anything. A Tony Orange. This one's not gonna do so good if somebody keeps digging. Red Sam's. And Orange Sam's. Yeah, no plant. And somebody's been digging. Might have a rabbit out here causing us some problems. Or they're just not growing. Brown twisters. Here's some store bell peppers. This one I just call a jewel. And this one's not doing anything. The purple. Those were the seeds that are hard to grow. Apparently, they are in this experiment. Keystone peppers. There's another one that's having a hard time. The albinos, the seeds did not look good at all. But I tried anyway. Big red sweet. And we got California Wonders. California Wonder. California Wonder. And another couple California Wonders. So that's the row rototilled. And just took out the big clumps of grass. And the root balls. All right, here's the row. And you're going to see a difference here. This is what rototilling and raking out as much of the big grass and roots out of it does. Look at how these are growing. This is cool. Cherry, look at that, how big them are. They're past my wrist. That's interesting. That's interesting. Red pears. Is it a coincidence of the how you rototill? If you're gonna do a rototill, is that Homestead 29? Beefsteak. Look at how big them are. This is a great row. Purple Beauty. Those are hard to grow. And it's doing great. What is with this row? Can't read. I can't see what that says. It's faded. I don't have my glasses on. What do we got here? Tiny Tims. I don't know if those are tomatoes or weeds, but I'm not really sure on what's happening with that one. But I'm going to just let it go for a little while. Look at these. These are going great. Jubilees. So that row right there, that's rototill and rake out as much as I could with just a garden rake. What an awesome row. Back to the row that I took out as much roots and grass clippings and weeds as I could with a sifter. These are peppers I transplanted from the second row. So they're just taking forever. And you can see the weeds just want to come back. And you can see I really need to do some water in here. I can't wait for the rain. Can't do it. I'm gonna have to do it. I don't want to do it, but that's part of the experiment. This is some grass growing in here with this one. I don't really want to disturb it too much. Bell pepper they bought from a store. Just put some seeds in. Plain pepper seeds. I didn't have them marked. And we're back at these Cal Wonders again. I'm gonna try and keep this row neat. So that's that. I built this little dam up here because the water was running down. This one's a little downhill and it all runs off. If you're wondering what's happened here. And this one is another little hill that I put in because when I water this one's not really flat, but the water wants to run all the way down to the other side here and then go into the grass. So with this row, what's different than the others is I could fill this up with water and the water will stop here. And then I could fill this one up with water and the water dams up on the edge here. Until this one gets established with watering, I want to give it as much water as I can, or catch as much water. So that's the different rows. So just a quick recap. We've got 4 rows here now, and we got 1 row I rototilled and just threw the seeds in. No cleaning. I rototilled and picked out the big clumps. Rototilled, took out the grass and roots with a rake, and the last row I sifted. So we'll just look at them real quick. So that's the no cleaning. Clean just by picking out big chunks. Clean with a garden rake. And clean with a sifter. But the weeds are going to come back. It is a never-ending battle with Mother Nature. She just wants to grow her weed. And I think that's all the water I'm giving the corn. Just a little bit, just to keep it going. Give it a little boost of happiness. And then we'll get out there into that squash field and take a look at it. Don't really have good water pressure here today. Water tower needs some water. Or maybe everybody's watering their gardens in the area this morning. That's the way water towers work. You got to add water into it to give it pressure. And today it looks like we got some low pressure because this sprinkler has no problem reaching all the corn, and it's just not reaching that corner, and it's just not reaching up at the top there. So I'm going to end this. I'm actually going to give the sunflowers a little bit of water. Why not? Just to give everybody else some water pressure. And I don't need to water the grass. But I also turn down this valve right here just to get the water to go. On the sunflowers, I don't need to be watering the rest of the grass. But sunflowers, these are some kind of giant Russian sunflower seeds. So we'll see what we get with sunflowers out here. What's going to happen. And we got to get out to that squash patch. See that little triangle patch out there? That I didn't mow. The reason is my mower completely blew the steering components out of it. So I actually had to use some tape to bring that mower back up here and slow drive it back up that hill. And I'm gonna try and fix it up because it's really good for doing this hill back here. And I actually going to have a new mower. I don't know if there's something moving back there in the woods. they don't want to come out. But anyway, we gotta get back to them squashes. We got zucchini, pumpkins, and other squashes. But that's why that little triangle is not mowed. It's nothing. I don't own helicopters or airplanes to land out here. It's no weird symbol to the gods to grow my plants. But lawnmower broke. We'll get to that in another video on how I'm going to fix that. And we'll do another video on what I am going to do to replace that. Canadians. It's the first time I've seen Canadian geese since I've been here. We're back in these woods. I have mallards. I don't know what they're doing in there, but they're out there quacking. Haven't seen them. And then another animal that we see out here, we got snakes, different variety of snakes. There's big snakes in Kentucky. And another thing we got out here, we keep running into, are box turtles, I believe is what they're called. And they just have these very colorful painted shells. I don't know, maybe it's a painted turtle. I'm just making that up now. I don't know what they are. And then we got our other usual fox, rabbits, coyote, deer, turkey. They're all out here. They're all out here and they're gonna cause me some chaos. Raccoon, see the raccoon out here. We see possum out here. Groundhogs are out here. They're here. Minks. I don't know if I saw a mink, but my best description of it was a mink. I tried to get it on video, but it was just moving too quick. That's enough water for this. It's not important enough to give these a lot of water. What needs water is these tomatoes and peppers. I just wanted to wet the top a little bit. Give them a little extra go. If you're new to the channel, this is how I water. And I'll just give another quick explanation on what happens here. So I build these tomatoes on these mounds like this. And I water until they hold water, right? And what that does, it keeps my leaves dry. I only try and get them plants wet with rainwater. So I'm going to give them that chance. So this is kind of experimental, but I am going to at least give these plants a chance to grow. Because I just don't want to waste food. And you see how that row up there is just holding water? That's what I'm looking for. And just let that water seep in. But if I didn't put them little dams in the middle, that water will all just run downhill into this row. Up there's holding water pretty good, but this one's going to take a little bit more water. It's just sucking that water right up. See how that water holds downhill right there? So that's just another quick recap on why I build the beds this way. just to keep my leaves dry. Maybe we'll see the frog. He hangs out down in these little pits. So if I see him, I'll do a quick video of him. So I just want to also say what I think different problems that you're going to have with these different types of rows. This row, with all the grass and stuff still in it, the plants aren't growing as well, but the dirt's always moist, so you're fighting with weeds. This row of peppers are slow growers, so it's kind of hard to judge on tomatoes, but this soil seems to be moist for the most part. This row, the tomatoes are growing great. I've got some grass growing in there, but it's under control. And this dirt dries out a little bit faster. This row is got nothing to keep water from evaporating out of it. You can see all the cracks in the dirt, clay, whatever you want to call it. It's still pretty moist. Oh yeah, it's got plenty enough water, but still, you got these cracks. So it does have its time where it dries out. And I don't know if that's going to be really good. So I think this one, I'm going to have water issues coming up with the dirt cracking. You don't see any of that in these other 3 beds here. So what I may have to do, if we're going to pull all that grass out, I'm going to have to maybe start cutting down some trees and making some mulch. I'll have to do a video on that. But I have a feeling I'm going to have some water issues with that 4th row. It's going to dry out way too fast. And speaking of water, I'm not still watering, but I just threw that on there just to shut it down, set it up. But I'm going to go read the water meter too and see how much water I've used this month. And I haven't done a whole heck of a lot of watering, so I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I've done a lot of spring cleaning, a lot of laundry, so the numbers aren't going to be accurate, but it'll still give me a general idea of how much water I'm wasting out here. If you get this happening, I have a video on how to fix that. So go check that out. And then I'll probably do another video of fixing this one. I gotta do an update on towing this trailer with the 4-wheeler. I made that little bracket, and I'll have to finish up that video. So if you're interested in making a bracket to tow this trailer around, I got a video for that. Installing a rain barrel. This rain barrel has a whole kit: screen, gutter hoses, a top, everything is there. And the cost of this, free. Somebody was throwing it away. So I got a video coming up on how to put a rain barrel onto your house. What I'm doing over here is just burning all the old paper things, cardboard boxes, food boxes, anything that's cardboard. So I bring it back here, I put it in this barrel and light it up, and then I use the ash in the compost bin, or put it right on the tomatoes. And I got my hose ready over there. So don't worry about me setting my weeds on fire. So that's what I'm doing here. Making ash for the compost bin. Any cardboard that I can't use. Stuff with print on it, I don't want to put that in the garden. So if it's got print or stickers, this is where I'm putting it. This is a pile of treated lumber. They had an old deck on the back of the house that was falling down. So I'm not burning it. It's just sitting here. Use it for something. So what I believe I'm going to make out of it is when I put these rain barrels in, I'm going to build small stands, water towers for them. This is something new I'm trying out. It's a wondercide, but we have such a bad tick problem out here right now that I don't want to put chemicals on here, but I want to do something so the dog and everybody that walks in the grass here doesn't get the ticks. And there's lots of them. There are giant ones, and there's these little pin head micro nano ticks. I don't know what they are, but they're small. So this just hooks onto the hose, and I just didn't spray the plants, but I spray around there. This is all some kind of natural oil, is what they say. It's a cedar. It smells like cedar, so it actually smells nice. But it's a cedar oil that you just spray onto your grass. And I did it 2 weeks ago, and the tick problem was drastically reduced. We still get a couple, but it ain't nothing like hundreds of them crawling on your pant legs. And another thing that could contribute to this is I'm keeping the grass cut short, or the weeds, whatever you call this stuff out here. So everything is short. Supposedly the ticks don't like dry sun, heat. So in combination of keeping my grass short, I don't know if there's any inside the sunflowers or the corn out there. They could be in with the tomato and pepper plants. But the rest of the yard, I keep the grass cut real short. And after I cut it every 2 weeks, I spray some of this stuff on there, and it seems to help. So not really too sure. This is not a promotion. This is not a sponsor, whatever all that stuff I gotta say. It's just something I buy on Amazon and try it out. Oh, look at this. Hi there. Is it spider safe? I don't know. He doesn't seem to mind it too much. So the spiders seem to be doing okay. Hopefully it keeps the fleas and ticks away. We don't have fleas, but we got the ticks out here real bad. back in noisy Chicago again. I need to close up this video. If you enjoy watching the progress of my experimental garden and you want to see what's going to happen with it in the future and what's going to grow, what's going to produce, I've got rain barrels to put in, I got the house hydrants to fix, I've got tractors to fix. I've got some more things that I want to plant out in the field also. If I get some time this season, I will probably build a raised garden bed using hugelkultur. If you're wondering what that is, it's an awesome way to grow plants. I grew some of my biggest tomatoes that way. And maybe if I get time, I will have a short video on how to do that, or a long video. Actually, it's not easy or short. But anyway, thank you for watching. And not in Kentucky at the moment, but noisy Chicago. I hate it here. But if you want to see more of the garden, keep checking back, and I will keep posting videos. So maybe for your entertainment, maybe for you to learn, but mostly it's for me just to keep track of my progress and my experiments on what works and what doesn't work in planting in hard red dirt in Kentucky. Thanks for watching. See you next week.